you are listening to
the Wrestle Gaming Podcast.
the Wrestle Gaming Podcast.
What's up, everybody? It is another Friday night, and we are live and in living color. Oh, excuse me. In the rainy South here. Of course, I'm Chris the Heat Matthews. He's the Tennessee Jesus, Carl Carlson. Carl, what is going on, man?
Not much. Living a dream.
Living the dream. That's all we can say. Living the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Working, watching wrestling, drinking a beer, and talking about wrestling. It's living the dream right there. Oh, awesome stuff. We've got quite a bit to talk about this week. We, of course, had Money in the Bank, Worlds Collide. We've got Raw. We've got some NXT stuff. We've got run through TNA Against All Odds. TNA had an event this past weekend too, Against All Odds. Had some interesting stuff happen there. Dynamite, all kinds of stuff. But we're going to kick it off like we normally do, and that's with the Rainbow Band. Oh, for fuck's sake. The Randall Band this week is none other than Journey. Yeah, buddy. All right. Carl, What did you pick?
How much did you end up singing this week in your car?
Quite a bit. It's Journey. You cannot just listen to Journey and not sing along. It's especially to like Don't Stop Believing and Separate Ways and a few other ones. Like you can't. Awesome stuff. There, I think you froze up a little bit there.
Yeah, I switched over to my cell phone data, which is not. I only got 2 bars on it, but my Wi-Fi was acting silly.
God.
So I decided to go with something a little bit more unique, and I'm going with Lovin', Touching, Squeezing.
Awesome. Oh, what a good song. I had it narrowed down to 2 because I can't. Obviously, my go-to is always Separate Ways. Like that's
Yeah.
I've always said if I was going to be a wrestler, my theme would be Separate Ways. But there's a wrestler in GCW that uses it, so you must be listening because I've not seen anybody use that theme until I talked about it on here.
Yeah.
So I had it narrowed down to 2 in case you picked one of mine. And the one that I'm going with is Ask the Lonely. That was my first choice.
Oh, I almost went with that.
Almost.
Yeah, I did. No, for real.
Oh, man. My backup was Message of Love.
Okay.
They both kind of
Yes.
had that same kind of tone as Separate Ways, where it's like it's like a little heavier compared to like some of the other songs, but it's still kind of like got that same type of message in there. So, I was like, yes, Ask the Lonely.
It's pretty cool.
All right, who do we got for next week?
Next week, we have Mike Downs.
Who?
Mike Downs. I know you don't know who that is, but
I don't.
he's a rapper.
What? How do you spell
or
the second part?
dimes, like currency, the coin.
Oh, dime.
Mike
Okay, Mike
Mike
Dimes.
Dimes.
I was hearing like Mike Derms.
Oh, my bad.
I was like,
My
what?
accent is bad sometimes.
I don't think it was that. I think it was just, I don't know. It was just coming through like Mike Derms. It's like, okay, cool.
There might be a dude out there named Mike Durham. I don't know.
Maybe. You never know. Oh, awesome stuff. All right. So there we go. That's the Randall Band entrance theme. This week was Journey. Next week is the rapper Mikey Dimes. Which Carl's 100% correct. I have no idea who that is.
I was like, it was like, especially like because he's like newer, like you know, what I mean, he's probably only been out like 5 years or like that.
Oh, great.
It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, Chris does not know who this is.
Nope. When are we going to get Wu-Tang?
I don't know.
I'm still kind of mad I wasn't able to go to their show at the
Okay.
arena. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
yeah, it was actually a pretty good concert. I
I
heard.
saw there's a lot of TikTok posts from that show.
Yeah,
Like the official Wu-Tang TikTok had like a nice little compilation of some of the songs that they did on there.
yeah,
I was like, oh man, like that would have been awesome. So, well, tickets were just out of my price range, unfortunately.
yeah. So I'll take it nowadays.
All right, so there we go. And Randall Band entrance theme. And now let's kick it over to the wrestling part of the show. Most people are here for it anyway. And that
Oh, you're wrestling.
is the instant replay. If you're just joining us, instant replay, where we pretty much run down the news and happenings the last week of wrestling. Are you ready? I'm ready. Okay, so we got some news. We got some Amazon news. Amazon Prime is rebooting. This is going to be the second reboot of American Gladiators. Sure, they rebooted this. When was the last reboot of this? Maybe like 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Somewhere around there. It was hosted by Hulk Hogan and Layla Ali.
I said a couple of years ago. Oh, I guess it tells you how damn old I am. Yeah, quite a bit ago, I guess.
Like I wasn't like I watched that reboot.
I
Some of the
didn't.
gladiators were pretty cool. They had one guy on there named Wolf, which was like he could have been a pro wrestler. Like there's no doubt about that one. 2008 was when it was rebooted last time.
Yeah. Yeah, a
So-
couple of years ago, man. 2008.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. So it's being rebooted again. This time it's going to be hosted by The Miz. And some of the gladiators that we're getting on the show are going to be Jesse Goddard's, who is part of the OVW roster as Mr. Spectacular. Rodan, who goes by the name in OVW J-Rod. AEW's Camille and Wardlow. And former WWE superstar Rick Boogs.
All right.
Some of the gladiators on the show. So I'm interested. I'll check it out. I love American Gladiators, especially like old school American Gladiators. It was always fun to watch.
Yeah, I was younger, it was fun to watch. Now I'm older, I don't know. I have to see if I can. I always wanted to do like all this, like especially the one with like you launch the tennis balls.
Oh
Like
yeah,
in that game.
was that
Yeah.
Assault? I think it was.
And then of course everybody wanted to do the little like battle with a thing. But
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like towards the end of the run in like the mid '90s, they added some of those newer things like the Sky Track, which is pretty cool. They were like suspended up on a racetrack, and they had to like crawl across it. So that was awesome. So,
Yeah.
if you're not familiar with American Gladiators, if you're not old like we are, it was basically American Ninja Warrior, but with people trying to prevent you from getting to where you needed to go.
It's like a competition. Yeah, it's like a competition between two people, and then like the person that won between those two people get to like challenge the gladiators or whatever.
Well, they had it was different games. So like we talked about the one where you shoot like the tennis balls. So you'd be like behind different barriers, and then you'd have like a rocket launcher that would shoot like a tennis ball at a target type thing. And then like the gladiators were up there, and they had like this little tennis ball gun, and they're shooting tennis balls back at you. So, then they had like the final one, which is called the Eliminator, which was kind of like the American Ninja Warrior track or obstacle course thing, but not as like intense as that. And then whoever got through the fastest time won that show's competition. Then they do like a big like finals towards like the end of the season. They would do like semifinals with like the winners from the previous, and then do finals, and they would have like an American Gladiators champion. So it was fun, a lot of fun to watch. And of course, if you're not familiar, Rico, who used to manage the awesome tag team of Billy and Chuck and 3 Minute Warning, was a contestant on there as well. And I think he actually won at least one on the episode that he was on. So
yeah.
So there we go. So American Gladiators rebooted a second time. What else we got here? Omos, who's been absent from WWE television for probably about over a year now, has signed a new contract with WWE, so they re-signed him. And Jey Uso, coming off that title loss on Monday Night Raw, was announced as the final participant in the first round men's fatal 4-way matchup this coming Monday in that the King of the Ring tournament. So he'll be the last participant in that one. I'm sure that had nothing to do with Rikishi's complaining about Jey Uso's 51-day title reign.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I had been wanting more shorter reigns.
Yeah.
To make it more blue. Like, I'm tired of everybody holding the title for fucking years on end.
I mean, if it makes sense storyline wise, like I know the Roman title reign kind of got dragged out, but it was part of that larger story arc, and which the last 5-6 years of wrestling, that was like the hottest storyline going. And it made sense to keep that title on Roman for that length of time, whereas like Jay wasn't involved in anything outside of Gunther when he won that title, and then like he goes from that to Logan Paul. So, but there's no defining story with Jay and that world title outside of Gunther, and that was all just the chase to win the title. I think they could have did more with they could have revisited Jay and Braun Breaker a little bit more with that world title on the line.
Yeah, I mean, there's still. I mean, you can always win it back. It's like not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Not like you got fired.
But if you did, apparently, if you chant loud enough, you get rehired.
Yeah, that was all storyline. Come on, now.
Right.
according to Triple H.
Storyline.
According to everybody else, I was like, no, it's real. So either Triple H was really good at hiding stuff, or vice versa. Uh, he's just lying about it.
It's one of those things. Like I kind of want to know, like if it was like an actual work, if it was a story, a part of the storyline, but I kind of don't, because like the wrestling fan in me is like, oh my god, this was so awesome. So, but that's just me. All right, we're kind of leaning towards that anyway. So let's talk Money in the Bank. Run that down here. I did not get to watch it. Got some stuff going on this week, and then with work, I wasn't able to set aside some time to watch that. But I have seen a lot of clips, especially with the ladder matches, and of course I think the only thing that I actually did get to watch was the tag match at the end, the main event. All right. So, what are your thoughts overall?
I'm glad Naomi won. Like I saw a lot of people, upset that she won. Uh, I'm totally fine with her winning. Uh, totally fine with her. Trying to remember. It's I think trying to remember if I like the women's better than the men's, or no. I think the men's was probably better, but it was still like a uh solid match. Uh, Dominic Mysterio versus Octagon Jr. I thought was really good. Uh, that was like a feud kind of brought on by World Squad earlier
Yeah.
that day, and I think they both look pretty good. The women's title match. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. To me, it was like way too long. Uh, we already saw them wrestle like too much for my liking. So just sitting through such a long match was uh, just didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? Like I would rather them added like another match in
Yeah,
there.
that match was
Cut,
about 15
cut this
minutes
one.
long, and the Dom Octagon match was 5 minutes.
Yeah. Becky Lynch got the win. No Bailey, so
No Bailey at Money in the Bank, but we did see Bailey return on Raw and take out Becky.
actually
Oh.
I take a lot. Remember when I said earlier that I think I kind of like the women's better. The men's uh the men's match was okay. It just had way too much shit in it. Like it was good for like a ladder match. There were some like crazy moments and stuff. But then um you had outside interference. Seth Rollins, his goons come out and fucking beat up everybody. And then Solo's goons come out and fight Seth Rollins' goons. And then Jacob Fatu lets Solo climb the ladder and then stops him and then takes out Solo and then leaves. And then you think LA Knight, I think it's LA Knight or somebody's about to win. And then Seth Rollins, his team gets back involved, and Seth Rollins wins. Uh, like I said, there's too much outside interference in like an already like crowded match, adding four more people to the mix.
Yeah. That's watching all those clips and stuff for that matchup. It's like, why are all these, like, you kind of understand why these people are getting involved, but it wasn't necessary. Like, it really didn't fit. Like, the only one that really made sense was Jacob and Solo. To have Jacob come in there and then, yank Solo off the ladder after, letting him climb up it. and that played off of SmackDown the previous Friday, with the comments that Solo was basically dogging Jacob, and then Jacob overheard everything as he was coming in the door to the arena. So I mean that kind of went into that. Then they kind of had a thing on SmackDown tonight where Jacob's like, I had to remind Solo of who I am. He's like, it don't matter if you family, if we come from the same bloodline. He's like, you're not going to disrespect me like that. So that's why I did what I did at Money in the Bank, just to remind Solo of who Jacob Fatu is.
Yeah. Then the tag team match, I mean, it is what we expected. It was a little bit better that you have Logan Paul and Jey Uso and Cody in there wrestling, besides this lame ass Cena. Uh, and then you got the biggest pop of the night. A masked guy came out, interfered in the match.
Yeah, they got the return of
Revealed,
R-Truth and the debut of Ron Killings.
yeah,
So we kind of touched on that a little bit before we jumped into the Money in the Bank stuff. Like I said, I want to believe that it was storyline, like that they actually didn't release him, that they were just playing into the stuff, into the working the IWC, like they have been the last. It's not the first time that they've done it. They've done it before, where they've sent something out that wasn't completely true, and then ended up being like the opposite of it. But I think this was a chance for them to say, okay, so truth is like, hey, I'm not, my contract's up maybe his contract's not up till next year. He's like, I want to do like one last run and then I'm good. But can we do it this way? Type of thing. And that's I think how we got, okay, so R-Truth is contract is up. Okay, he's done. You get the fans all behind him, chanting, we want truth, I'm Raw and SmackDown, the Money in the Bank, and then he shows up, and then they start calling him Ron Killings. So I think it was a way for them to change the character.
yeah. It's one of those things too where it could have been like maybe it could have been possible that his contract was up and Triple H was like, hey, like just go out there and tell everybody I'm letting you go, and we'll sign you to another deal or something, just so that everybody believes it.
But if it was, but I am leaning like into the belief that like his contract was up, and that they did offer him like a lower deal, and he didn't want to take that deal. I mean, there's like stuff going out there now that's like Nick Khan like personally called R-Truth to get him to stay with the company. So.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been like one of the TKO brass being like, yeah, we don't want to pay him this, and then after watching TV and it's like, yeah, you have your crowd chanting for this guy that you let go.
Yeah.
Doesn't look so good on TV, so then you have to get him back.
Yep. So, but glad he's back. And we saw like the next evolution of that on Monday night. Truth came back out through the crowd, or I should say, Ron Killing is coming back out through the crowd. Hopped up on the announce table, did his spiel that R-Truth is dead, R-Truth is gone. Like this is Ron Killings. And then took that next step in that evolution and cut off the braids.
Yeah. Do you see the Bubba Ray Dudley's response and then R-Truth's response to him?
I saw R-Truth's response. I didn't see Bubba's.
Well, Bubba was like, yeah, you can't, like, you don't want to hear R-Truth anymore. Like, he's Ryan Killings or whatever. And R-Truth was like, "Who the fuck are you to tell me who I am?" You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, how are you gonna tell me who I am? Like, I'm me. Like, you know what I mean? Uh, yeah, I thought it was good. But yeah, man, like I always liked R-Truth. Um, I hope they can like get him, more involved in like actual matches and stuff because he's
Yeah.
a really good wrestler.
I want to see
One of
him.
one of the best TNA
First,
champions. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
the first Black NWA heavyweight champion.
Oh yeah, technically it was NWA. This is
Yeah.
like before they had a TNA title.
I mean, a lot of people hate on R-Truth because they look at him as the last 16, 17 years of his run in WWE has been that comedic relief.
Yeah,
But people don't realize R-Truth is actually a damn good in-ring talent.
yeah,
Like we know he's good on the mic, we know he's got the charisma, but if you give him if he gets a chance to on this run, um like people are going to see a whole other side of Killings in these matches, and it's not going to be like the same style that you've been used to watching him wrestle as R-Truth. So,
yeah,
like, it's going to be way less dancing and all the fun stuff that he usually does, and it's going to be a more serious tone to him, like it was when he was in TNA. I mean, still did a little dancing, especially when he was at 3 Live Crew. But
yeah.
well, when he won the title, it wasn't all the dancing; it was the in ring stuff. So yeah,
But I think Worlds Collide though was the better show.
Worlds Collide was awesome. We cannot talk about Worlds Collide without talking about Mr. Iguana, who literally
Yeah,
stole like the audience's hearts in that arena. So,
it's one of those
I
things where you know how I am with like stupid gimmicks. Uh,
yeah,
I mean, me seeing it for the first time, though, I ain't gonna lie, like I kind of enjoyed it. Um, like if I had like a heavy dose of them, I don't think I would like it, but like a little small dose,
yeah,
Mr. Iguana, it's fine, But if you got to push like Orange Cassidy got to push where like all of a sudden he's competing for like the WWE Championship, then I would have a
yeah.
problem.
Well, apparently, because of how viral he went as well, there's been talks of Mr. Iguana being moved up to either the main roster or moved over to the main roster or NXT. So we'll see where that goes. I think they've already got merch planned for him too. I think they're going to sell some stuffed lizards and T-shirts, and
Yeah, I
and
mean,
I'm sure that coming.
I wouldn't be upset like if they had him, verse like Dom or something like at the
Yeah,
next pay-per-view.
I mean, he was a good. It's one of those things. It's like it's a gimmick. It's a
Yeah,
fun gimmick, and that's one of those things like you need a fun gimmick every now and then. Like it's not something
yeah,
that like wrestling isn't always serious. Like there's always been like some kind of comedy or comedic gimmick in there. Um and especially one that, that kids tend to gravitate towards too. And that's Mr. Iguana. Like literally, like I showed my kids like um the clips of him wrestling because they didn't watch it with me. And they're like, wow, that guy's cool. So like he's
yeah,
got a lizard? Is that a lizard? I was like, yeah, it says iguana. Like this is a little iguana puppet. And they're like, oh. And like the thing that got me, like right at the beginning of the match, when he puts the damn thing on his foot and kicks it up and catches it on his shoulder. I was like,
yeah.
all right, I'm done. But yeah, that opening 6-man tag match was awesome. with the Octagon Junior Aerostar, of course, Mr. Iguana taking on the LWO. With Lince Dorado filling Joaquin Wild's spot in that matchup since he was injured. Oh, great opening match too for this pay-per-view. I guess not even a pay-per-view, it was special, I guess. So it was awesome.
It is. Yeah, proving them up. I think it's technically a pay-per-view for AAA.
Yeah. But yeah, that match was great. I don't have a single negative thing about any of these matches on this card. Like,
Yeah, no, none of them were bad.
Stephanie Vaquer, Lola Vice, taking on Chick Tormenta and Dalise. Great match. Like, I've never seen Chick Tormenta or Dalise wrestle. Honestly, like,
and that's
it was a great match. Like,
yeah,
I would love to see more of the two of them. They did an amazing job in that matchup. The best part was the double Devil's Kiss. One of the best parts. So, if Booker T was out there on commentary, he probably would have had a heart attack. So the best part was Conan going, "Why'd they stop?" Oh, that was great. But I did love Conan on commentary too. That was awesome. So my wife was listening. She's like, "Why is he just like so monotone?" I was like, "Cause it's Conan. Like, that's just how Conan is. Like, he ain't got to be all yelly and all that." So
yeah.
That was good. Then we had Legado del Fantasma taking on El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. I'll probably say the only one that I wasn't too impressed with was Pagano. He kind of seemed a little slow compared to Wagner Jr. and Psycho Clown. But I guess Conan was saying he's more of like a hardcore wrestler on commentary.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what he was saying. That was like another thing too, that made Conan so good. Is like he was kind of, you know, giving you information on people that you didn't know, and it made it watching it a little bit more easier because you got like, an idea of who they were from him.
it was definitely awesome. So I think Legado shined very well in this matchup. Like,
Yeah,
it was nice to see them featured in something instead of being jobbers. But,
yeah. I've seen Psycho Clown before. I can't remember where I seen him. I think I'll say NWA. Um, but I've seen him before, so yeah, that's kind of cool seeing him again.
yeah, I have the a AAA game for the PlayStation 3, and I think Psycho Clown's one of the wrestlers in that game.
I think he might have been at that show too. Remember that show that had little Parker at it not too long ago? I was talking about. I think he was at that show. I didn't
Oh
go to
yeah,
that. Yeah, I didn't go to the show, but I
yeah.
think he was on. He was on the thing for
I
that.
think he was on the cart. Yeah, I think I remember that one now. Yeah,
I was
that
like,
match was great. So.
yeah.
Fatal 4-Way for the NXT North American Championship with Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Fenix.
I thought this was going to be the match of the night as it was going on
I thought so
until
too.
until I saw the main event. This was like, right up there with it. I was like, holy shit, this is a good match.
Yeah, it was. That Fatal 4-Way was awesome. So we're sitting in. I was actually in the living room watching this. So the kids were they're eating lunch, I think, at the time I was watching it.
Yeah.
And wife was out there too. She's like, "Well, who do you think's gonna win this?" I was like, "Ethan Page." She's like, "Really?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah." Like, he's a champion. Like, there's not really anyone in this match that's gonna take the title off of him.
Yeah.
So the kids got excited when they heard that Javon Evans was from Greensboro.
Yeah.
So, well, I was like, really? He's from Greensboro? I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, wow. So I want him to win then. But yeah, it was a great matchup. Lots of high flying stuff, technical wrestling. It pretty much had something. That Fatal 4 had something for everybody in that match.
Yeah. Javon Evans, I think he has potential to be that guy if they ever give him the chance to.
I think so too, and I think he has, with his size, he's got more of an opportunity now than he would have, say, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago, no way in hell. No. But under Triple H, I think under Triple H and Shawn Michaels, he's definitely got more of a shot of being that guy. But he's just phenomenal in the ring, phenomenal to watch. So.
Yeah,
but it's cool to see, kid from North Carolina doing his thing on WWE TV every week. So.
Yeah.
Of course, Ethan Page retained. Then we had Vikingo taking on Chad Gable. And
incredible dude.
Our group chat, this was the best Vikingo match I have seen. I haven't, and that's just between AEW, Ring of Honor, and now WWE. Like I always thought he was, pretty entertaining to watch, but it's like at the same time, it's like he does some stuff that you haven't seen before, but then again, like when you're watching him in AEW, it's kind of like the same thing as some of the other guys on the roster are doing. But to see him in this match with Chad Gable, and you see more, you still got that good mix of the high flying stuff, and then you saw more like submission holds and more technical wrestling out of Vikingo. And I think that's kind of what pulled me in more into this matchup. So,
yeah.
And Chad Gable just proved why Chad Gable is awesome. So.
Yeah. I changed my mind on Chad. I used to not like Chad Gable, but he's grown on me the last several years.
I think the El Grande Americano thing too. Him in that ladder match, from the clips I saw, he was pretty.
But when he had that feud with Gunther, too, like kind of
Yeah.
oh yeah, this guy.
Oh, that was such a heartbreaking feud because you wanted him to win so badly.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, they need to do something with Gable. They need to push him towards IC title again or something.
So,
I don't even know who the hell has the IC title right now.
Kurt, come on, man. Who has the IC title?
I'm drawing a blank.
Come on,
Dom.
man.
That's right, Dirty Dom. Man. I barely see him with it on.
Well, yeah, I mean,
do like a backstage thing. He doesn't have the title on him.
You have to watch Money in the Bank. He defended it. It was a good match.
Yeah, Worlds Collide. Like, I agree with you. I think that was. Well, I didn't get to watch Money in the Bank, but I love Worlds Collide. I thought it was awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, Dom was there too at the beginning. They kind of did like a little tribute to Rey Mysterio, and then he was like, "Rey Mysterio's garbage."
Deadbeat dad.
And Octagon's like, "No, you're garbage." And then he's like, they got in a little scrap, and then he's like, "All right, I'll put my title on the line, Money in the Bank."
Awesome. All right, so go from that. We hop into Monday Night Raw. A few little tidbits here. We had the first round Fatal 4-Ways for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament matches. I forgot to pull up that.
Yeah, I didn't get off work till 11.
Forgot who won. But we did say Bailey returned. Took out Becky Lynch. Not Brie Bella. Nikki Bella made her return to the roster. Apparently, she's back.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, super thrilled about that one. I will say though, she did get a pretty good pop when the music hit and she came out. So
Yeah, I don't care. John Cena still gets a pop, but it's like
yeah.
I'm done with it.
So, all right. So the first round men's fatal 4-way match that we had this past Monday was Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio. This was a great match. They really held on to that momentum from over the weekend into Monday Night Raw. Put on some awesome matchups. Sami Zayn ended up picking up the win on this one, so he advances to the semifinals, where he will take on Randy Orton, who won the SmackDown first round tournament tonight. So we'll get Sami and Orton, and of course, obviously, the winner of that will go into the finals. It was announced Jey Uso will be the fourth man in the other first round Monday Night Raw match, which includes Sheamus, Rusev, and Bronson Reed. That's going to be some big meaty men smacking meat in that one. So, then the other SmackDown men's matchup is Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, I ain't heard that name no.
I know. Probably going to see Cody end up winning that one.
You think so?
I think so.
Who won the women's Raw?
Women's Raw. The first one was Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez ended up picking up the win on
Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez. So yeah. Kairi Sane hit the elbow and was going for the pin, I think, on Liv, and then Roxanne was able to roll up Kairi, I think, or pinned Liv, one of the two. I can't remember exactly, but it caused like some more issues between Liv and Roxanne. SmackDown first round matchup tonight. We had Jade Cargill take on Michin, Piper Niven, and Nia Jax. Jade Cargill got the win on that one after hitting Piper Niven with Jaded and picking up the win. Then they're doing the second round matchup tonight too, which are the other fatal 4-way tonight, which is Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green. No, actually, no, they're not doing that tonight because Chelsea Green's not there. So, but this was on next week. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Candice LeRae. And then this Monday on Raw, we'll get Asuka, the return of Asuka, which they kind of spoiled by showing the graphic first before the Asuka return video package. But it's Asuka, Stephanie Becker, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy Nile.
Okay.
So I think
at least with the matches, at least this time you got like a lot of diversity in it, and to the point to where you don't look at it and go, "That's the winner right there." You know what I mean? Like looking at like Liv Morgan, Kairi Sane, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez. Like you can't just look at that and be like, "Yeah, they're definitely." Because my thought was like, "Oh, Rhea Ripley," but it's
that's
like,
what I thought too.
Yeah,
especially when they announced, the winner, gets a title match against their brand champion. So, like, if Roxanne Perez wins, then she'll get a match with Io Sky. So, or if Jade Cargill wins, she gets a match with Tiffany Stratton or Naomi, depending on if Naomi cashes that briefcase in or who she cashes it on. But yeah, and that's one thing with the men's tournament. When I'm looking so this is an easy, not like an easy way, but it's like the lazy way of getting Cody back into the title picture by having him win the King of the Ring tournament. Because eventually that's what's going to happen.
I don't want to. I don't want to see him and Cena again.
Well, we'll probably end up getting him and Cena again. Me
Come on, Chris,
personally, I think they should. What's up?
Don't do me like that, man.
So
Don't do me like that.
personally, I think it should go to. I think it should be Orton that wins the King of the Ring. I'd rather see Orton than Cena.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even though we saw it like 800 million times, when the
I don't know. The last time it wasn't that good though. The one they just did kind of sucked. So.
Hopefully it's better. But who knows? We could even get like Sheamus and Cena or Rusev and Cena.
Maybe Sami Zayn. That would be good.
Sami Zayn would be good too.
Have Sami Zayn take the title off fucking Cena.
That would be awesome. All right, what else we have? Main event Monday Night Raw. We saw Gunther dethrone Jey Uso and regain the World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, Ben, thoughts?
I'm not too upset with it. It's one of those things where when you have so many people that's qualified to have the title, like to me, like the title should switch hands more often than they've been doing. Because it seemed like a lot of the times they were avoiding um, certain matchups and stuff when it came to titles. I don't know how we ended up, you know, uh, with John Cena with the title, like especially with like the Seth Rollins and CM Punks and Drew McIntyres and Damian Priests and all these guys that to me like should have been more in the title picture. How we end up with Cena as a champion, but we did somehow. Gunther, I kind of like Gunther. I'm not upset that he won a title. I just don't want to see him go on another long ass reign. Like I said, there's more people to
Yeah,
have it.
I like Gunther, but it seems like they don't know what to do with him if he's not a champion. And that, because you think about like his entire time in WWE, I would say like 95% of it he's been a champion.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's just like the big thing there. It's like, what do we do with him if he's not, holding a title? Yeah, I think that's my only gripe with that. Like other than that, it's like who's a viable contender for Gunther now for that championship? Like, where do we go from here? And so help me God, they better not taking that damn title off of Jey Uso just to have Goldberg come back for his retirement match against Gunther for the title. And if that's the case, Gunther better fucking win.
Yeah, no, I don't know. If that happens, dude, I swear, like, I have to stop watching uh, WWE and just watch AEW or TNA or something. Because Goldberg, I don't want to see Goldberg wrestle again. You know what I mean? Like he's not even that realm of wrestlers. Like I would even want to see wrestle again. I'd rather see fucking Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson come out and verse somebody for the tag titles or something.
I agree with that one. So I'd much rather see that. And honestly, like, who does he think he is? That he's like, oh, I need a retirement match. Like, you almost killed the damn Undertaker the last time you wrestled. Like, really? Like, Jesus.
Have him have a retirement retirement match, Goldberg versus Bret Hart. Look at shit.
Oh, Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg.
Career versus career. On the line, Bret Hart versus Goldberg.
Oh, it's freaking ridiculous. And I really hope that's not the reason why they put the title back on Gunther.
No. And then it's kind of weird too, because like you don't really do you see Seth catching it on Gunther? Like that don't really make a lot of sense.
No, unless Goldberg actually wins the title, and then Rollins cashes in on Goldberg.
Yeah.
That could be the only thing I could think of that would be an acceptable Goldberg title win at this stage in his career. I mean, that's barely acceptable, honestly. Ugh, it's so freaking stupid. I really hope that's not the reason why. All right, let's pop over to NXT. I don't watch NXT, but I did see the clip of Mariah May and her promo video there of her new name, which is Blake Monroe, and it was pretty much the a copy of the opening clip for Sabrina Carpenter's concerts, I guess. But everybody's trying to compare her now to Toni Storm, saying that she's copying Toni Storm's gimmick. But I didn't see Toni Storm when I saw that, so
I haven't seen her wrestle or her talk or anything yet to be able to say one or the other. I don't think she could really mimic Toni Storm. I mean, it's kind of like a one of a kind performance.
No, and I think people are just, IWC just jumps to all these different conclusions about, oh, well, her name's Blake Monroe, Marilyn Monroe, which is obviously where Monroe came from. But they're like, well, Toni Storm has modeled herself after Marilyn Monroe. And when I look at Toni Storm's gimmick, the whole timeless thing, I don't think Marilyn Monroe. Like, to me, she's more like 1920s, like type of actress / wrestler type thing, where it's not like a specific person that it's modeled after, like especially with like the whole black and white thing. So,
Yeah, I mean maybe a little bit, but it's definitely a like old Hollywood
yeah.
actress.
But yeah, we just gotta wait and see what they do with Mariah May and NXT, and to see if they are actually copying the Toni Storm thing or they're doing something different. So who knows? Let's see, AEW this week. I watched some of it, didn't watch all of it. Trying to remember if there's anything important. I know probably the best thing that came out of there was Will Ospreay versus Swerve, which kicked off the show. And probably the least irritating and annoying use of the Young Bucks that AEW has had so far. They kind of got involved at the end of the matchup. Or beating down Swerve, claiming they're still doing it for Hangman and all this other stuff. They got the Swerve shoes, Swerve's answer threes. They each had a shoe, had thumbtacks on the bottom of it, went to super kick Swerve, but at the last second, Ospreay jumped in the way and took the loaded super kick in place of Swerve. And then we saw more development with Hangman Page and Swerve and Ospreay. The Young Bucks outside the trainer's office, stopping Hangman from going in and talking to him. And Hangman telling him, like, I ask for your help. I don't need your help. Don't want your help. I want nothing to do with y'all. Anything like that. He's like, I'd rather stand side by side with Swerve than with the two of you. And so like Swerve was in the trainer's room with Ospreay. Like Prince Nana kind of like stuck his head out. So and that was probably one of the more interesting things that happened on Dynamite this week.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Impact. TNA's Against All Odds was this past Friday, I believe. I'll just run through this match card here with the results. We had a 6-woman tag team match. The Elegance brand, which is Ash by Elegance, Heather by Elegance, and M by Elegance, defeated Zaya Brookside, Mila Grace, and Harley Hudson. After the matchup, we saw the return of the Inspiration, Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee, formerly known as the Iconics in WWE. They made the return and gesture to the Elegance brand that they're coming for the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships.
That's
we
cool.
saw. I'm pretty hyped about that one. I love the Inspiration. Glad they're back. Glad they're back on some kind of wrestling program. So, psyched for that
for
one.
sure.
Then we had a international championship match. Steve Macklin defeated Mance Warner. 8-man tag match. The Hardys, Leon Slater, and Cody Deaner, who was in a mask and being referred to as the hometown man, and the whole entrance theme too, defeated the System. Mustafa Ali defeated Jason Hotch. Mike Santana was involved in a segment with the First Class Penthouse. Beat up Casey Navarro until he got a champagne bottle smashed over his head by AJ Francis. Masha Slamovich retained TNA Knockouts Championship over Lei Ying Lee, the former Xia Li. Frankie Kazarian defeated Joe Hendry. TNA Tag Team Championship match. The Nemeth brothers retained over the Rascals. Santino Marella defeated Robert Stone by pinfall to once again become the official TNA Director of Authority. Matt Cardona was the special guest referee for that one. And then Trick Williams retained the TNA World Championship over Elijah. And they turned around and actually aired this pay-per-view on their Facebook channel, their Facebook page, YouTube, and I think their Twitch for free over the weekend too. So after it already aired on pay-per-view. So. All right. Well, that's cool. So there's that. That stuff there. All right. So let's go ahead and hop over to the Elite Figure of the Week, which is, of course, brought to you by EntertainmentEarth.com. Use the code FTCollect and save an additional 20% off your in-stock items. All right. I don't think we have done this one. I'm trying to remember. I know we did one of his other figures before I had picked this one up, but this is the Legend Series 26. So this is the most recent Legends wave that is on the shelf right now, and that is Carlito.
Spit in the face of people that are
Debut
not cool.
Carlito. Of course, the attire is his debut attire, and from the match where he beat John Cena for the U.S. title. You got the Carlito Caribbean Cool logos on the side of the trunks. Nice purple wine shirts. That molded hand like the other Carlito for the apple. Then he's got Cena's lock and chain that he stole from him and then beat him up with.
That's cool.
It's cool. That's cool. Sadly, this will probably be the last figure we get of Carlito for the WWE line. as he was not contract wasn't renewed. Pretty lame.
And they come out with one that can spit. Like,
Can spit apples. That'd be awesome. All right, so there is the elite figure of the week, and now we're going to get into guess the wrestler.
oh shit.
This shouldn't be too difficult. So this is guess the wrestler cat edition. So basically, I had AI take pictures of a wrestler and turn them into cats. So here is the first one, which would be pretty easy.
Okay. That one is the Ultimate Warrior.
That is correct. It is the Ultimate Warrior. All right. And the next one.
King Kong Bundy.
No.
Andre the Giant.
Nope.
Um. Huh. Trying to think. Black Tights. Black Tights. Black Tights wrestlers with tape arms. I don't know.
It is Taz.
Taz. What the fuck,
Taz.
guys? I don't know. I guess I never really remembered his like the black.
Let's ECW Taz. All right. So
I wonder Blaze or Medusa.
yeah. Medusa. So there's some easy ones in here. There's some hard ones. Like this one's super easy.
Yeah, Hurricane.
The fact that they made him a black cat just cracks me up.
Cat. His new nickname would be Cat Five or something. Category, like categories. Cat Five.
Some of these just crack me up. So we go from like these realistic cats to some like cartoon ones like this one.
Little Parker.
That is Laparca. Right.
Cleopatra.
Oh, she dresses like Cleopatra.
Sensational Sherry.
Nope. She's currently on the AEW roster. So is a current wrestler.
Tony Storm.
Not Tony Storm.
Thunder Rosa.
Nope.
I don't know that.
Megan Bain.
Megan Bain. I don't know if I pay attention to her that much. So.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, next one. This should be an easy one.
This is the Demolition.
Demolition.
I would say if not, it's Kiss.
I got one in here that's probably super hard. That's this one.
Blue Albina.
Nope.
The Cat.
The Cat.
Yeah.
Ernest the Cat Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody call his mama.
Somebody calls mom.
Somebody.
I thought that was going to be the hard one. So I was like, I'm going to do this one just because it's ironic.
Well, I was thinking about the shirt.
Is that the last one? Yeah, that was the last one. All right, not too bad.
It's better this time.
But it's kind of hard because I'm looking at these. Like, I initially did one, and it was like the NWO. But like when it did the whole group as cats, they all had NWO shirts on. It was like,
Oh yeah.
This one like you gotta at least do something a little different.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome stuff. So, we'll go for that. No Holds Barred, which is, of course, brought to you by Redbubble Store. So check out redbubble.com/people/WrestlingPod and buy some stuff. All right. I was supposed to go see Sinners over the weekend. Was not able to. Ron Killings just choked out. Just took out Cena and put him in the STFU. Oh, he looks so weird without the braids. It'll take some getting used to. Oh. Yeah, did not end up going, so fortunately I cannot tell you how good it was.
Okay.
We are going to see How to Train Your Dragon this weekend. Apparently going on Sunday, which is Father's Day.
Have to let me know how it goes.
Yeah. I want to see it anyway. It looks good.
Yeah, my wife wants to see it. She liked the cartoon. I never watched the original, so didn't really care too much to see it. Sinners, I think it starts streaming this week, don't it?
I'm not sure. I know it's on like rent or buy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I don't think you can I don't think it's like streaming, but I think you can rent it to get your
Yeah.
house.
It's been up there for a couple weeks now. I remember
Oh, has it?
correctly. Yeah.
Might have to get that or something this weekend. I've been wanting to see it.
Looks so good.
I saw that I think NWA is supposed to start streaming on TV.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put that in the notes. Yeah, they signed a deal with Roku actually, so it'll be on Roku TV, Roku channel.
Roku TV.
Going head to head apparently with NXT, which I really don't consider that head to head with NXT. But
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, might
that'd be
be.
something.
Titus is not still the champion or nothing, is he? Okay.
What's up? Oh, Titus? No, he's
Tit-
gone.
Okay.
I
I
think
know.
last time I looked, I think it was Tom Latimer.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. They were there for a minute. Like they had it going. Then the pandemic killed it off. But
Yeah.
you had Ricky Stark, uh, LA Knight.
I was like,
Nick Aldis.
yeah, Tom Latimer is the current NWA champion. Defeated EC3 at the 76th anniversary show August of last year.
Mhm. The question mark. They had it going, man.
Yep. Oh, EC3 retired Tyrus.
That's my return.
Yeah, when he won the title, it was August 27th, 2023. Damn, he held that title for almost a year. For over a year, 370 days. He wrestled Tyrus in a bull rope match. And it was Tyrus's career and the title were on the line. Awesome. It seems like everyone, a lot of these championship reigns since they brought back NWA event. Like the shortest one was like
You're trying to mute my mic.
Like everyone's held the title for at least like 100 and some odd days.
Yeah.
And like the last three title defenses were all within like a year.
I miss the days of like Attitude Era WWE where it was like Raw won, then Mick Foley beat him on SmackDown, won it back again on Sunday Night Heat. Like,
Yeah. I'd say if it's done too much, it just kind of gets stale after a while. Like you just need to find like a good mix of like longer title reigns, but not like 2 to 3 year title reigns.
no, I like it back when it was like Rock and Austin, and you didn't know
Yeah.
who was gonna win it. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, they are doing this Fatal 4-Way tonight, but it's Elba Fire instead of Chelsea Green.
Oh man.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, awesome stuff. Let's see. I don't think there's
Yeah,
really.
World Cup coming up.
Yeah,
No,
see if they play any games in the U.S.
I mean that's where it's supposed to be.
We'll see. I know they're talking about pulling them. So, with all the recent political stuff going on.
You got the Pacers and OKC in the NBA Finals. Pull for the Pacers, hoping they win.
Oh, finally watched Captain America: Brave New World. Thought it was pretty good. Liked it. It's
Yeah.
like streaming on Disney Plus now.
It's been a while since I've seen any. I think like the last Captain America movie I watched was like Winter Soldier
Oh,
or Civil War.
yeah, Civil War was the third one. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. The way that they kind of incorporated everything into it, and then it, and how it plays into the next part of the Avengers story arc coming up with Avengers Doomsday. I think was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Looking forward to it. Or at least Avengers Doomsday and where they go from there. And the new Fantastic Four movie should be pretty solid too.
Yeah. They've had some pretty decent movies.
Awesome stuff. I don't know. There's not really like a whole lot going on. Besides like the political climate, and I really don't want to get
Talk
too
about
involved
that.
in that. So, which I know you and I probably have similar views on it, everything that's
Yeah.
going on, but yeah. Oh, awesome stuff. I really don't have anything else. So.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else.
Right. Well, that's cool. I guess we'll end it on that note and go back and talk some more wrestling. I think we got pay-per-view wise. I don't think there's anything.
Not this week, anyway.
Yeah, nothing this weekend. Halloween's not till July. And that's same weekend that Evolution and Saturday Night's main event. I think the next one. When the King and Queen of the Ring take place. June 28th. I guess that's the next pay-per-view. Awesome. There you go. We'll be back next week. We'll talk some more wrestling and some other stuff. We have myself, Chris Heat Matthews, and the Tennessee Jesus Carl Crossland. We'll chat with you guys next week. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media outlets. We're stuff on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Help us grow those numbers so we can live stream more places. Yeah, that's it. Later, Marks.